When it comes to creating content strategy, there are three things you need to consider. The first one is creating content. The second one, marketing the content. And the third one, the tactics that we will use to promote the content. When we're thinking about the promoting part, this is the strategy as well as the communication. These two things tied in together basically becomes our tactic. In terms of creating the content, it's the what we're doing, how we're doing, when we're doing, why we're doing what we're talking about, quite essentially. In terms of marketing the content, what channels to potentially market through, what mediums to potentially use, how we're going to pitch it, how we're going to get it at that right level so that we'll really connect with our audience. It's really, really important to also keep in mind when we are thinking about developing a content strategy that our brand and our audience, they are central to everything that we do. And through the process of creating the content, marketing the content, and then the tactics used to promote the content, we must always, always ensure that we are trying to build trust and therefore our reputation. This is something that cannot be negotiated. It has to be done upfront from the beginning and consistently throughout. Knowing that we're not going to become successful overnight is also really important as well. As in, let's not lie to ourselves. Let's be honest with our approach. When we think about content marketing, content strategy, it's not a 100-meter race. It really is a marathon. In fact, it's a series of marathons. So remembering this and keeping this in mind allows us to stay focused, even if the results are not going our way. There's another aspect of content as well. When we are creating content, we need to ensure the content that we're creating, it's focused on our customers or it's focused on our audience, meaning the content we create must resonate with them. There are a few important questions we should ask ourselves before we set out to create content. Firstly, who is our audience? So thinking from a demographic, geographic, psychographic, behavioral perspective, maybe creating a buyer persona for our audience so we can really visualize exactly who our audience is. Now, of course, this buyer persona that we create or the segmentation we create, it's still a segment. So it's a group of customers or a group of our audience that looks, thinks, feels, lives, and so on in a particular way. And by understanding this, we can create content which better resonates with them. The other question that we also need to consider, apart from who our customer is also what do they do? The what they do aspect should try to help us to figure out what their pain points might be, or what they're trying to get better at, or what they're trying to overcome, as in what are their challenges. In reality, any content that we create, it should be based on providing value to our target audience. There is one more part. We also need to consider if the audience that we have are the same or different across the multiple channels through which we are not producing content, but delivering content or featuring our content. For example, imagine our organization has a social media channel on YouTube, but also an Instagram channel as well. Also a channel through Snapchat. Now, are the audiences the same for all three? Maybe our Facebook one's a bit different compared to, say, our YouTube, or our Snapchat's a bit different to Instagram. Understanding those differences also allows us to cater for the audience that we're trying to serve.